Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Tobey's Talk Show. This is episode number 26, and today is a very different video on my channel. Usually, you guys see either me just talking solo and just talking about the NBA or NFL, or I have a guest on and we talk back and forth, but today is more of an interview video, as you probably have seen from the title or thumbnail. Today, I actually interviewed Rob McClanaghan, and he's not just an ordinary NBA trainer. This guy is probably your favorite NBA player's trainer. He works with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Derrick Rose, John Wall, Russell Westbrook, and a lot more of the top NBA players in the world. Rob has actually just came out with a new book called The Network, where he gives us an inside look on his training sessions and his one-on-ones with some of the top players in the world. Rob failed to make the Syracuse basketball team as a walk-on freshman, and he trained all that year to get on the team, and he did get on that team. So it's a very cool story. I definitely recommend it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you do like this new style of videos where I interview some people in the sports industry. I really enjoy it, so I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. So, Rob, my first question for you is, what did a day in your life look like before COVID-19, and how has it changed because of COVID-19?
Yeah, like everyone else, it changed drastically, especially for me because I was traveling constantly. I'm on the road, every other week, if not every week. We're approaching March Madness. Those are the Big East tournament when things kind of stopped. I had to come back to Rhode Island, where my home is, and instead of kind of getting ready for the playoffs with a lot of my guys, everything just completely stopped. So it definitely changed. As time went on, I started working with some kids at the end of this, quarantining, and gradually started to travel with you guys. But yeah, there's a 2-month period that, I didn't do any travel, and didn't do any really training.
Right. I'm just a little curious. Are you going to Orlando with the teams, or do you?
I don't know just yet. I don't know the rules and how it's going to work, so I'm probably just going to wait till that happens.
Right. So my next question for you, Rob, is how did you first begin your training career? So did you take a specific course in college? Did you do internships? How did you start to get into that type of business?
Yeah, I do all skill work, so there's no courses for that per se. But I did play at Syracuse, learned from the legendary Jim Boeheim, and then I coached in South Florida in Tampa with Seth Greenberg, who's now at ESPN. And then I became very close to some people at IMG Academy in Florida, which is a huge training facility now. Back then, it was kind of on its way up. And kind of just took off from there. I networked the heck out of myself, developed a lot of connections and relationships, and with a lot of hard work, a lot of networking, a little luck, kind of took off.
Awesome. So my next question is, I'm curious how you select the specific drills that you use when you work with a player. Because obviously you work with a lot of different players and they have a lot of different skill sets, and I'm sure they have a lot of different areas that they need to work on. So I was curious how you decide beforehand the specific drills you like to use.
Yeah, every play is different, so I try to really specify each player and what they need to work on. Some drills are the same, obviously, from different players, but depending on the player, how much minutes he played the previous season, how far they went in the playoffs. Everyone's kind of different, but I think now we're getting gradual towards obviously the game has changed. So there's actually a lot more drills I can do with everybody than ever before. Usually you have to do a lot of post work and big man stuff. Now everyone's kind of wants to dribble and shoot, so it needs to do that to be able to be in the league. So as far as that goes, a lot of guys can do the same drills more than ever.
Right. Yeah, that's funny because my next question was going to ask, have you looked at more shooting drills now, because obviously the NBA has changed where, a lot of players, even the big men, have to shoot. That's very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so my next question is, have you experienced players who do everything you ask in the drills but don't integrate that into the game? And, what are ways that you could help change that so that they can integrate it?
Yeah, definitely. I've had guys, do great in drills and don't do it in the game. I've had guys that, aren't really great in workouts and are great in games. So, but with those guys, the best evidence is film work. So if we work out all summer and I start to see them not, maybe using those moves what they were so good at and worked so hard at all summer, I'll break down a lot of film for them and each individual player, each individual play and move that they make and say, here you go. But also it's positive thing, look, you did it here. Why not do it here? So try to keep it positive. But I think film of themselves is the best evidence. And I can say whatever I want, but when they look at it and see it, that's proof enough,
Definitely. And so going off that, so as a trainer, how do you, obviously there are some players that are born just more aggressive than others. So I was curious, as a trainer, how do you increase the aggressive mindset and mental edge in a player? And is that even the kind of thing you think about?
Yeah, definitely think about that. I think one of the main things is, I've seen the more the guys have worked out with me over the course of the whole summer and the consistency and efficiency of it, that they're just more confident and aggressive, when the season starts, only because they're even consciously or subconsciously just more aggressive and confident, knowing that they work so hard. Why not take the shot? Why would I turn the shot down? Or why not get to the rim here rather than pass it? So I think it just translates into a lot of confidence.
Definitely. And so my next question is, what percentage of the time should be spent on skill development, actually playing, like shooting, playing basketball, and strength and conditioning, if you have an estimate for the percentages?
Everyone's different. I don't really have an estimate, but I think it goes hand in hand. We really do. The way you guys are increasing the strength now is more resistance training and bands and stretching. But you can't have one without the other. I could work a guy out 7 days a week, hour and a half a day. If he's not doing the other stuff off the court, then that won't really matter. And same thing, if he's not doing the mobility stuff and resistance stuff, training and strength training, his game's not going to improve the way it should on the court. So they're definitely hand in hand.
And so my next question is kind of going back to some of the players that you train. So obviously, you train some of the best in the world. So you were talking about connections, but I was curious. So do you think, a big part of how you, started working with these guys was connections? Obviously, you and your skills are part of that as well. But I was curious.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. I mean, I do a lot of corporate speaking on networking, and I think it applies to any business in the world. If you're not good at networking, building relationships, none of that skill stuff matters. I could be the best skill trainer in the world. If I don't know how to connect to agents and GMs and coaches and friends and people that are around them, financial people that are around, whatever it is, the case may be, none of that matters. If they don't trust you, on the court, then they're not going to trust you as a friend anyway. So it's a thing I've worked on for years, and I've become very, very good at it. Without the networking, there's no way in hell that I'd be here.
And speaking of networking, I'm actually very excited to read your new book, The Network. My dad actually just ordered it.
Right.
And so as someone who, is using some of these interviews to create a book, I was curious, as someone who's trying to write a sports book myself, what gave you your inspiration? What is the process like of creating a book? And my final question for your book is, what do you hope people get from this book? We could take it question by question.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to do a book, but I never wanted to make it about me.
Right.
So that was the key thing when with the publisher and my agent, I went over it. I didn't want to make it about me at all. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to make it about the player, how they got better, how we built our relationship, and through that the trust began. The process, it was pretty much a 2-year process from hiring an agent to getting a hardcover out. But we were very detailed with it too. We wanted logistics were tough to interview players, but it's a long process. It's very tedious. There's a lot to do, but it's also a really really fun process. And since then, a lot of opportunities have arrived.
Right. Well, Rob, those are all my questions.
Great.
Thank you so
Hopefully
much.
it helped.
Yeah, definitely. I learned a lot, and I appreciate the thoroughness of your answers. So yeah, thank you so much.
All right, man. Good luck with your book, and if you need anything, let me know.
Of course. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right.
And
you too, man.
bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.